Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. Nairobi results are still trickling in. But from the provisional results we are seeing, it's clear Azimio is winning about 14 seats out of 17 constituencies in Nairobi. That's over 90% of constituencies in Nairobi. And the most interesting bit of it is that even in constituencies that have majority voters from the mountain voted for Azimio candidates. A constituency like Starehe, where a good majority of voters are Mount Kenya resident voters, they voted for a Jubilee candidate who is supporting a Raila Odinga candidature. Same to Embakasi West, same to Kasarani, Roysambu, Dagoretti South. So technically out of 17 constituencies, 14 constituencies are most likely heading to Azimio. And that's a very big win for Raila Odinga. And that proves it clearly that Mount Kenya residents, or rather Mount Kenya voters in Nairobi, ignored party affiliation and voted for the right candidates. That's what I'm saying here. As opposed to what we saw and witnessed on the mountain, where very credible and progressive leaders were rejected based on party affiliations. Leaders such as Ngujiri Wambugu, Kanini Kega, very progressive leaders were just being rejected because of party affiliations. And let me also take this opportunity to inform our brothers and sisters who voted on the mountain that you missed a very wonderful opportunity where you could have joined hands with other Kenyans into electing into office credible and leaders of integrity. You missed that opportunity. And for the coming 5 years, we have been told before that choices have got consequences. You will have to live with such kind of consequences. So in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to have a discussion on the results we are seeing, especially coming from Nairobi, and why Raila Odinga is sweeping Nairobi votes like nothing else. That's what I want us to discuss in this video right now. In case you are watching us for the very first time, but so far you have not yet subscribe, give this video a like. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Yes. The Nairobi vote in the first place just confirms that a good majority of Kenyans wants change. Kenyans are tired of two community domination against them. That's what the Nairobi vote is telling us. Because if you look at the city, almost all communities are in the city. And the mere fact that Raila Odinga is winning the Nairobi vote with a landslide just confirms that a good majority of Kenyans, or other Kenyan tribes, are rejecting two-tribe ethnic domination, so they want change. That's the reason they are voting for Raila Odinga and not William Ruto. And that also just goes into telling us that voters in Nairobi are informed. And I'm saying they're informed because largely, and I'm saying this without taking sides, if you look at William Ruto's brand of politics and the way he was largely campaigning, a majority of the things William Ruto was saying were just propaganda and lies. Yes, propaganda and lies. So William Ruto was not able to convince Nairobi voters into voting for him because they are informed. They know when William Ruto is lying to them or when he's not lying to them. So they rejected William Ruto because of his style of politics based on propaganda and lies. And from the kind of voting we have seen in the city, it also proves that maybe Mount Kenya residents, especially those voting in the city, a good majority of them might have rejected William Ruto and opted to vote for Raila Odinga. And that can also just explain that they might be informed Mount Kenya residents, as opposed to the mountain where we saw them just voting for leaders that we can only describe as Tugege. Mount Kenya residents, or other voters in Nairobi, they might be uninformed voters. Voters who knows exactly what leadership is all about. So they chose leadership as opposed to just voting blindly. That's also something I'm seeing here. Above all, ladies and gentlemen, I've always maintained that if you want to know how Kenya is voting, then do a voting in Nairobi, and you will know how largely Kenya is going to vote. From the national provisional results we are seeing the country painted blue with only some patches of yellow, a confirmation that across the country, all communities are endorsing a Raila Odinga candidature. And that can also be seen in the city. Yes, all communities are endorsing a Raila Odinga candidature. And that's why I honestly believe that it will be very, very hard for William Ruto to win this year's election. And a William Ruto's win is not very good for this country, in that a good majority of other Kenyan communities are going to feel left out of that government. In the event Raila Odinga wins, then you will see the whole country celebrating, because they will feel they are being represented in that government, as opposed to a William Ruto win, where only the Kalenjins and most likely Mount Kenya residents will be celebrating. So it's indeed true that a Raila win is good for the cohesion of this country. A William Ruto win can only but divide this country further. That also comes out very, very clearly. And if you look at the season now, Nairobi residents have voted again. I tend to believe that William Ruto will find it a little bit hard in the city, because from the votes we have seen, Raila Odinga has just confirmed that indeed he is the king of Nairobi politics. Raila stamped his authority very, very clearly. And if you look at the previous elections that have been done in Nairobi, Raila this time around has performed far much better than he has actually done before. An indication again that the handshake between Uhuru and Raila Odinga might have also helped into boosting Raila's chances in the city. So the handshake has worked for Raila Odinga, especially in Nairobi. And above all, as I conclude, the Nairobi voting style also just indicates clearly that it will take Kenyans, or rather William Ruto and his team must change their strategy. William Ruto and his team must actually change their strategy. Because if William Ruto continues with this brand of politics of lies and deceit, then I'm seeing most likely it will reach a situation where even that mountain itself will rebel against William Ruto. Because naturally, everybody wants to identify himself or herself with the winning team. And in the event Raila Odinga goes on to win this year's election, which I know is going to win, I'm saying the mountain most likely will start tilting towards Raila Odinga. But even without the mountain tilting towards Raila Odinga, the mere fact that they overwhelmingly voted for William Ruto to a tune of 80% for William Ruto, if Raila goes on to win, then Raila Odinga shall have just exposed the lies we were being told before, that two communities can combine efforts to win against other communities. That lie shall have been exposed, and the mountain residents shall have known clearly that their votes and the Kalenjin votes cannot beat other Kenyans. That's also what I'm seeing as a result of Raila's win, and what Nairobi is also telling us. We are still following on the results very keenly, and immediately the final tally will be made. We are going to give you a detailed analysis, blow by blow, on what those results means politically. So make sure you stay tuned by subscribing to this YouTube channel. And for those watching us for the very first time, that's the kind of analysis we do here. We don't beat about the bush. We go straight and to the point. We call it as it is without fear or favor. God bless you. God bless Kenya.